Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. In this video, I have a veritable cornucopia of information from David Schwartz, who of course is Ripple's CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger. I'll be starting with this piece from the Daily Hodl. It's titled, Ripple Executive, that would be David Schwartz, lists obstacles facing XRP as price trails far behind Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you the actual thread citing some interesting information from David Schwartz, because he was responding to a question that effectively had to do with XRP price, which you don't see too terribly frequently. And then we've got this story from the Daily Hodl. JP Morgan launches digital asset with major tech company on board. And I've got a whole thread of multiple David Schwartz comments. And I have to admit, out of all the Ripple employees that speak somewhat frequently publicly, whether it's Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, the Ashish Burla, just pick whoever, I probably, if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be David Schwartz, but don't tell the other ones because they're awesome too, and I don't want them to have hurt feelings. But David Schwartz, he's just such a wealth of information. I feel like I'm learning something or gleaning insight from his comments, just on the reg, basically. I don't even know how else to say it, but that's how I feel. Before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. But don't smash the like button, because only dorks smash the like button. By the way, I'm looking at you over in the corner there, Mr. Muscles. Don't smash, nobody's going to be impressed. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because if you don't, you are dead to me. Happy Halloween, everybody. I know it's not quite Halloween yet, but tomorrow. Well, I guess maybe time zone-wise, I don't know, I guess maybe it is summer. And not that everybody listening to this would necessarily celebrate Halloween, but a little over half of the subscribers on the Moon Lambo channel happen to be in the United States, and I'm sure many of them will be interested in this particular holiday, so I thought I'd highlight this. This comes from XRP Crow, who is at status on the Twitters. And if you look at your screen right now, you can. I'll pull it up full screen in just a second here. It's pretty cool. He carved an XRP pumpkin, so I had to highlight this. All right, it's Happy Halloween Day, XRP holders, with some celebratory emojis. Let's see your XRP pumpkins. Looking pretty freaking solid. I'll tell you what, I couldn't do that, and if I attempted, I would end up with fewer fingers than when I started the project. I currently have 10. I would end up with 7 to 8. That would be my best guess. Knives are sharp, man, and I need an adult. If I'm going to try that, I seriously need an adult. Shout out to The Rock XRP for sending this piece my way, tagging me along with a bunch of others in the XRP community. My friend, I very much do appreciate it. And this is the one that's titled, Ripple Executive Lists Obstacles Facing XRP as Price Trails Far Behind Bitcoin. As XRP continues to languish compared to Bitcoin, Ripple's Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz is engaging in frank discussions about the crypto asset's challenges going forward. Schwartz, one of the original architects of the XRP ledger, responded to questions on Twitter about why banks are holding back in terms of implementing XRP-powered technology. And I just want to go straight to the thread right here. And so this originated from an XRP community member named John Perez.crypto, who wrote, and I'll pull up the screen grab here in a second, but he wrote, so if XRP is still 23 to 33 cents in 2021, does that make David Schwartz, quote, we can't wait that long projection equivalent to the other inaccurate Riddler's projections? And I'm going to have to censor myself because there could be kids in the background here, but the tweet that he's referencing, one of them had to do with something from John McAfee consuming his no-no spot. You can look on the screen if you need more information, but he said that he was going to consume potentially his no-no spot if one Bitcoin didn't equal $500,000 within 3 years. And that was 3 years ago. And then you can see that David Schwartz wrote something here. Let's just read this verbatim. This is from David Schwartz, and I don't see a date on it. But anyway, I remember reading this actually, and when I actually read this, whenever it is that he posted, I frankly cannot recall, and again, the date's not here. I read it, and I kind of was wondering what he meant, because to me it just seemed a little ambiguous. But he wrote, in response to, maybe I should read the first tweet first. Programs for ICA, the big banks, Zillow, and X, I can't read the whole tweet, it's cut off. As he was telling about the new software he was writing, I showed him Ripple. Both Ripple and his new product were almost identical. The bank's new stuff won't be released until 2021. So it's not the whole message, but that's what we got. To which David Schwartz responded, "That's too late to do us any good. Our XRP strategy can't wait that long." So he was effectively comparing the two. And so in order to do that, you must assume that what David Schwartz was talking about there had something specifically to do with the price action of XRP. And I actually didn't assume that. My best guess would have had to do something with the effect of it being functionally adopted by businesses that would use it. That would have been my best guess. And I was thinking along those lines anyway. In terms of price action, I didn't assume that's the route he was going. Now, just the other day, he actually did respond to that, which is pretty gosh darn cool. He wrote, "Just to clear this up, I wasn't saying anything monumental in that tweet. I was just saying we were going to sit around, I think he meant weren't, he wrote were, but he meant weren't going to sit around to wait for banks to adopt digital assets on their own timeline." And sure enough, Ripple, obviously on top of being the adults in the room, have been rather proactive in making it clear that there's real utility to be had with cryptocurrencies. It's not just the RippleNet messaging system that will increase the payment flows around the world, in terms of efficiency, cost effectiveness, of course, associated with that, and timeliness. But also on the settlement side, eliminating notion of ownership. Like, you can literally do that with one digital asset on the planet that's positioned for it, and that's XRP. No other particular cryptocurrency is being positioned for this use case in the whole world out of over 7,000 cryptocurrencies. Still mind-blowing to me, but that's the truth. There's just one. If you find another, you bring it to my attention here. And I'm talking about decentralized cryptocurrencies, of course, not walled gardens. And then JohnPerez.crypto responded, though, "Wow, didn't expect that. Grateful for the response, David. Outside of the clear, observable reasons why a bank would want to use a bridge asset like XRP, do you see it as potentially intentional that they're holding back? Feels like a coordinated opposing operation on that side." And I'm about to read David Schwartz's reaction to that. I've never felt that way. If there's a product that's going to benefit a bank or remittance company's customers, they're going to adopt it if it makes sense to do so. If it doesn't, it's more like, rather than thinking that they're sort of suppressing it for some irrational conspiracy theory reason, which would be nonsensical, it's more like, what is preventing them from doing this today? And in this case, there are a couple things that I can cite, regulatory clarity being one, and another one being insufficient liquidity in markets. And so corridors absolutely are not built out, and even the corridors that do exist couldn't necessarily handle tremendously more payment flows if just everybody jumped on board in particular corridors. And that's just the reality of the world today. That's not some sort of harsh critique against Ripple. It takes a long time to build this out, but I am here for the long haul, and clearly Ripple is as well. So it's not something that I'm concerned about. It's just this is something that has literally never been done before by humans. And David Schwartz's response to that was the following: "I think there are a combination of obstacles: regulatory uncertainty, last mile problems, fear of reprisals from existing partners, and so on. Another big thing is that the very best customers are ones that are going to use bridge assets to build new products. They're heavily motivated to see projects to completion and will push the benefits all the way down to customers. But in that case, even when they're 100% ready to go, they still have zero customers because the product is new. So it's slow to get momentum." Makes all the sense in the world to me. And so that's why, with a comment like that one from the one it's too late, it won't do us any good. Our XRP strategy can't wait that long. Like, there's no way I personally was going to read into it in that particular way. It just is like, it's a little too ambiguous, but I would have assumed. And you know what, my assumption was more or less in line with the type of response that he gave. So I think my gut was correct in that particular instance. Now this piece from the Daily Huddle: "JP Morgan launches digital asset with major tech company on board." I don't really want to run through this piece. I really just want to get to David Schwartz's responses to what this means, the implications here, and he had some additional insights relating to the topic. But and I actually did cover this the other day anyway, so I don't want to beat a dead horse here. But for those that have missed it, JP Morgan coin, which is a walled garden coin to be used internally for settlement within the little JP Morgan walled garden, it is officially live, and they have one massive customer that was in the news just the other day. It's official here, and so there was a CoinDesk piece that was tweeted out here. And somebody, in response to the CoinDesk tweet, which linked to their piece on the topic, somebody named Senior Hife Bai, I don't know, wrote the following. "It's over, my friends. Sell now." And he tagged a couple people there. "XRP the Ponzi is done." And then tagged Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz. Which is nonsensical, but, everybody has a right to their own opinions. So there we go. Don't make no damn sense, but whatever. And then BG Araji, who may be saying the name wrong, but he was one of the individuals tagged there as well, wrote, "No decentralized consensus, aka garbage. Remember when proof of work was decentralized? It was so long ago gooey." And David Schwartz actually jumped in here and wrote the file. This is a fun thread. Check this out. He's got a bunch of responses. I'm just going to read them all in a row. David Schwartz wrote, I thought decentralized consensus was important back in 2011, but I was totally wrong. You only need consensus to do exactly one thing: solve the double spin problem by choosing among two equally good ways to make forward progress. And so what he's talking about there is validators participating within the XRP ledger when trying to reach consensus may receive transactions in a different order. If for no other reason, just think simply that with people being located in different geographic regions across the planet, the lag time of actual transfers can result, if you send out a transmission, it will be received by different participants at different times, because there's a lag depending on the actual distance between you. And so what the XRP ledger effectively does, this is the most dumbed down way I could possibly word this, and admittedly I'm not a tech guy, but out of all the validators, it just determines what do most of them think the order was, and then it just picks one, because effectively it doesn't matter, because even if a transaction, say it gets pushed off to the next block, well, it functionally doesn't matter. You're talking about, so it's 3 seconds later? Like, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't matter. You just need to be able to agree on forward progress to solve the double spin problem. That's effectively what it is. That's what he's citing there in that tweet. And then he continues. If one way to make forward progress is better than the other, all honest participants will agree on that, and no decentralized mechanism is needed to choose among them. And, of course, no honest participant will accept any bad or invalid way to make forward progress. So you don't need decentralized consensus to filter out bad ways to make forward progress, only to disambiguate among ways that are considered equally good by all honest participants. Given that the ways to make forward progress must be equally good, what difference does it make how you choose which one to choose? In fact, Bitcoin doesn't decentralize that. If two transactions conflict, a random miner gets to decide which stays. So your complaint is about 7 years out of date. Nevertheless, XRP Ledger does in fact use a decentralized way to do that because we thought it was important back then too. At least memories is accurate. People erroneously thought that was important many years ago, but we know now it's not. So there you go. The opinions change, but it's still baked into the ledger, and it doesn't functionally matter. It really functionally doesn't matter. And then Ace Hearts wrote, in response to that, any cursory commentary on the advantages of XRP over JP Morgan coin, though? To which David Schwartz did respond. JPM coin will only be useful for people who trust JPM, are in a jurisdiction that's compatible with JPM, and aren't concerned about their sovereignty. A system nobody can own and control is, in my opinion, better, especially if you compete with JPM or hope to. And so there you go, the walled gardens, and I could not agree with that more. And the way that he articulates it just off the top of his head, it's just, it's exquisite. This tweet is a work of art. I'm going to print it up and frame it, damn it. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for stopping by, my friends. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.